Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Red Wine Talking. I want to start off by saying happy Thursday. It's usually my pre-weekend. For those of you that don't know, my weekend starts on a Thursday. And I want to actually continue on to wish you guys a wonderful weekend that we are upon. The show tonight is about open relationships, open marriages. The topic at hand is whether or not marriage is a prison and whether or not monogamy is something that is unattainable. And we also want to talk a little bit about polyamorous relationships. We are going to start off by mentioning Will Smith and Jada Pinkett because I posted something on my social media about the fact that they said Will Smith did a recent interview about his marriage and saying that at some point in time he and his wife decided to forget about monogamy, that they were not going to have a monogamous relationship, and that marriage is a prison and they didn't want to be part of that prison. So I got a lot of feedback about it, and a lot of people were saying to each his own. Some people were saying never, they're not going to share. A lot of people had a lot of, different varying opinions and varying responses regarding that type of relationship. Hi Lester, hi Ronnie, hi guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. So I wanted to touch base on it because this has always been a topic of conversation when I get together with my friends, when I get together with associates, and it's always been some type of topic because it's an interesting topic. It's not something that everyone is going to see eye to eye on. It's definitely not. So that being said, I asked a couple of my friends, including my family, about what is it that they thought about open relationships. And I got a very good response. I really liked it. It was encompassing about everything. And it was from my daughter, who's just 26 years old, just turned 26. So I want to take some time to read that response that she gave me because I thought it was so wholesome. And she said, I feel like more people are open to the idea of being in open relationships, especially this generation, because dating can be so hard. But it just depends on what works for that couple, and that the intention of being open is very clear. I agree 100%. The intentions of being open is very clear. I believe she meant, everyone needs to be on the same page. We both need to be open. You and your significant other need to be very clear about what this open relationship is going to be. How is it that you're going to handle this open relationship? So you want to have clear communication. You want to be honest. You want to be very honest about what is it that you want and how is it that you both should handle this open relationship. So she also went on to say, do you think you can survive everything that comes along with being open and the possibilities that they come with? And it's true, you know. You say you want an open relationship. We say we might want an open relationship because we might be bored of our significant other, or we might just be thinking that monogamy is a myth. It's not something that is, you know, true. It's not something that we can actually attain. So you really want to discuss with your partner the possibilities of this open relationship, what this open relationship is going to bring, what is going to happen with this open relationship. Because yeah, open relationship, fine and dandy, I'm still with my significant other, but I want to date other people. You want to be clear to your partner. You want to specify with your partner, how is this dating going to happen, right? And you want to be honest with your partner. How is it that you feel, and why is it that you think that this open relationship can work between you both? And you want to hear your partner's points of view as well. Hi Alicia, hi Chin. So she also went on to say, for you, those of you just joining, I'm reading my daughter's response in regards to open relationships because I love to have her input. I love to have everybody's input. And she said, it could come with a lot of feelings along the lines of, is there something missing in the relationship? Very true. What is it that your partner is not giving you that you think you may need to go and find outside? What's missing in the relationship? Is it because something is missing in the relationship? You want to do that. So another question that she said, am I not enough? Of course. You're going to have that concern. Am I not enough? Why is it that you want to go outside of this relationship? Why is it that you want to have an open relationship? Why do you want to be able to date other people and see other people? Am I not enough? Definitely. And then, what is it about being open that you like? Wow. What is it? You gotta really communicate with your partner. Why do you want this to be an open relationship? What is it about being open that you like? So, is it the sex? Is it just the thrill of meeting someone new? Is it the passion of being with someone? I mean, really with someone new? What is it? What is it? Do I just like the attention and flirting? Exactly what I just said. Do you like being flirted with? Do you like flirting with someone else? Does it give you a high, you know? Is that what's going on? Can I handle being in love with two people at the same time? Really and truly, I mean, that's a whole other show in itself. Are you able to be in love with two people at the same time? Can you fall in love with two people at the same time? Is that a possibility? Is that true love? Will that be considered true love? Can I handle being in love with two people at the same time? Do you believe we only have one love out there, or that we have different types of lovers in our lifetime? I believe we do have different types of lovers in our lifetime because we learn and we live and we go through different phases and stages, and what I may like in my 20s, I might not like in my 30s. What I may like in my 30s, I may not like in my 40s. So yes, we change and we grow, and we may very much have different types of lovers in our lifetime. She went on to say, or is it just sex or physical thing, which I mentioned earlier? Is it something that you're just doing because you want to have a different vagina / Juliet? You want to have a different Juliet? You want to have a different Romeo? Are you bored with the same Juliet? Are you bored with the same Romeo all the time? Romeo we use here because we don't want to use the actual word penis. So all of these were really good questions that she brought up. I mean, she sent me a whole long note. And she also went on to say, do you want to be tied down or free? Is it a matter of freedom, you know? Can you have both at the same time? So is it a matter of freedom? I know a lot of people say freedom. You know, they claim they want their freedom, and that's very much true. I remember I remember my husband using that word at one point in time when he was describing how he felt about being in our marriage, and he felt like if he didn't have much freedom. And I was like, well, freedom to do exactly what? You know, what are you looking for freedom for? You know, and I thought to myself, well, why did we get married if you want freedom? Because yes, marriage comes with a certain commitment and a certain exclusivity that does not include freedom, if you wanna put it that way, right? Can we start with being monogamous, and then if we feel bored, we try the open? That's a very good question. We can very much do that. I mean, there are so many options here, right? So many options. What if you both decide to be open with rules and limitations, but then a partner falls in love with someone else? Wow, our biggest fear, right? You're in a relationship, you're in a committed relationship, exclusive relationship, and you decide to go open. Are you really not going to be concerned about whether or not your partner will fall in love with someone else? Come on. How could you not be concerned about that? You have to be, you know, because then now, what if this open relationship turns into something where he or she decides, well, I no longer want to be with you. During our open relationships, I met someone else that I have fallen in love with, and I want to be with that person, and I want to give that person a committed, exclusive relationship that I never gave you. That is something that is very hard to handle. Very hard to handle. And then she basically said, you know, what if lines get crossed? Of course lines are going to get crossed. We can't control our feelings. We cannot. And we're going to be out there in an open relationship, spending time with someone else, dating someone else, giving that person a lot of ourselves. That person is giving a lot of themselves, and yes, you can easily see yourselves falling in love. So here you are in love with someone else while you're in a committed relationship, committed open relationship. Where does that leave you? Where does that leave you? And she summed it up by saying, I guess it just depends on your partner and what you guys believe in what will work between you both. And of course, no one can tell you what to do in your relationship. No one can tell you what's going to work for you. And that was a lot of the responses when I posted the whole thing about Will Smith and Jada. A lot of people said if that works for them, wonderful. No one can tell them or anyone else what's going to work in their relationship. If you feel that's going to work for you, kudos to you. But I think it's not going to work for a lot of people. I can't see it working for a lot of people, because we want who we want, we love who we love, we fall in love, and we want to see that person and that person alone. And we don't want to have to share that person with anyone else. You know, yeah, sharing is caring. I am the first one to preach that. Sharing is caring. But do you want to share your significant other with someone else? Do you want to share your boyfriend/girlfriend with someone else? Do you want to share your wife/husband with someone else? And if that's something that you both decide to do, you gotta talk about the parameters that you have to stay within. You have to talk about, well, am I going to be in the same circle? Am I going to stay in the same circle? Or do we have to date out of the circle? A lot of couples, I can imagine, would not be comfortable with their husbands or wives or girlfriends or boyfriends dating someone that they're close to, someone that they line with, someone that they hang out with. That's going to be very uncomfortable. I mean, really uncomfortable. Hi Stephanie, hi Marlon, thank you so much for joining. So a lot of the open relationships, they come with a lot of stipulations. Like everything else in our life, the choices we make comes with consequences. So you probably have to maybe drop some kind of contract. If you decide to be in an open relationship or a polyamorous relationship, how they call it. I know Howard Stern was talking about it on his show at one point in time. My husband came and told me about it. You got to be very clear about how this relationship is going to work. You got to talk about certain boundaries and limitations before you even go down that road, because it's going to become madness. It's going to become madness. Hi, Antoinette. Thank you for joining. So, guys, any questions that you have, you can throw it out there. I'm going to try to answer them to the best of my ability from my past experiences. Remember, I'm not a doctor. I'm not any way a professional. So I'm going to tell you what might have worked for me or for other people. It's totally up to you what you want to do with that information. I remember saying when I decided to post this little clip about my going live tonight and what is it I was going to discuss, I said tune in to hear what my experience is with open relationship, and I actually used the word madness to describe it, because I believe it is madness to a certain degree. My husband and I did try to go down this road at one point in time. It did not last very long. And the reason why we decided to try to go down that road is because I felt like if he wasn't happy in this relationship, because I felt like if he was seeking excitement elsewhere. So of course it made me feel inadequate. It sure did. And I felt like it was very bizarre. But I did decide, you know what, well, if that's how you feel, then this has to go both ways. You know, we are going to engage in an open relationship. And we really didn't get far with it because, you know, he explained to me he's very honest, he's very open, very straight up with a lot of things. And whenever we talk about this kind of thing, he basically said to me, you know what, a lot of men want the best of both worlds. A lot of men like to have that committed relationship, marriage, that long-term, you know, in a relationship. But they're only human and they might see someone else that they might be attracted to, just like women, because we do see others that we are attracted to as well. And they might take it a step further, you know, maybe under the influence of alcohol, weed, drugs, whatever it is. Maybe not under the influence of anything, just your natural self. You know, want to explore something with that other person that you feel attracted to. And I said, well, you know what, that's not a problem. If you feel that that's what you want to do, then let me know so that I can probably join the fun, you know, because I'm here trying to stay committed, and only to realize that you're not really trying to stay committed and exclusive. So maybe I should also stop being committed and exclusive and explore that significant other, explore that person that I might feel some minute attraction to. So it has to go both ways. I cannot see an open relationship being one-sided. I mean, that's just unfair on many levels, you know. It can't just be the man or the woman in an open relationship. Both parties have to okay this, and both parties have to be able to go outside of their relationship to explore the attractions that they might have elsewhere. Stephanie Steele asked a question, are there any men out there that really can handle the realness of an open relationship? And you know what, Stephanie, I'm going to answer that question with a hell expletive no. Hell no. No man. They want it for themselves, but they cannot handle when we women do the same thing. They can't handle it. And they will tell you out flat that they don't want you to do the same. I don't know any person, and I've known a lot of relationships. I've spoken with a lot of people about relationships. That's what I love. That's my passion. That's what I do. And not one have said to me that they can handle seeing their significant other with another man, or just thinking about it makes them sick. But guess what? they would want us to handle that when the shoe is on the other foot. They definitely want us to be able to handle it with them. So, yeah, unfair, very unfair. And it is a pity. It is a pity, Stephanie, because guess what? Life is weird. Life is strange. Life is something else. You know, we are all human beings. I remember responding to my daughter when she sent me that long whole spiel about open relationships, and I said, all valid concerns, I said to her. And I said to her, it's kind of sad that this is what the world has been resorting to. But human nature is not something we can control. And she said, yep. And I felt it for her because, you know what, yes, I'm in a long-term relationship. I'm in a marriage for many years. She's new. You know, she's new in this relationship world, and she's probably dealing with this like full force. So I feel terrible for her because she has to put up with this madness, as I call it, where, you know, men are going to want to be able to see other people when we just want to be exclusive. Really and truly, we do want to be exclusive, but if you want to go out there, we can adapt. Women can adapt. We are adapters, and we can adapt to that type of life. But guess what? I don't think men want us to adapt to that kind of life. Yes, we have egos too, Stephanie. We definitely have egos too. Men are not the only one with egos, but we have learned to control the egos that we have. We have totally learned to control it. And then Ronnie said, of course, because women carry a lot of heavy baggage. Men carry a lot of baggage as well, Ronnie. Women are not the only one carrying baggage. We all carry baggage. Some of us own up to it. Women own up to it. Men probably don't. There are probably men who do, but a lot of the women own up to it, and we communicate about our baggage. Everyone comes with baggage. No one is perfect. We all have our imperfections. So as a couple, we can learn how to handle them. It's together. So let me just kind of clarify to you guys some of the things that I found online when I was doing some research. For those of you that don't know, open relationships, it's kind of different from polyamorous relationships, but it's very similar as well. So to describe to you what a polyamorous relationship is, it's characterized by or involved in the practice of engaging in multiple romantic and typically sexual relationships with the consent of all the people involved. Very important. You see that consent? Yes, it has to be. It has to be. Intimacy and trust are essential to successful polyamorous relationships. Intimacy and trust. Listen, we all know how technical that trust word is. We all know. Alfred was bisexual and polyamorous. So we can actually go down the road here as to, you know what, yeah, you decide to go into an open relationship or a polyamorous relationship and you had no idea that your partner was bisexual. So that's something else that you're now dealing with. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So Ronnie also went on to say that that's true in a different way, men acting like two-face. And he put B/S. I'm thinking he meant to say that girl dog word. I would hate to say it here, but I'm thinking that's what he meant to say. So that being said, also I want to basically read some of the things that I read online about the polyamorous relationships. And it was a very interesting article that I really liked. So let me see if I can find it for you. Let me see where I put it so I can find it for you. It was basically telling us tips on these polyamorous relationships. You know, and one of the things that I really liked about it is, let's see if I can find it. Can you cheat in a polyamorous relationship? And it said, cheating does still occur in a polyamorous relationship, and it involves breaking the relationship agreement you have with another person, which is a violation of trust, which I just mentioned. Trust is so important. The definition of cheating is different to different people. Very true. And it doesn't simply mean that someone is having sex with a person who is not their partner. For example, if you and your spouse have agreed only to date people of the same sex, dating a member of the opposite sex without their knowledge would be cheating, right? And you could easily bring in rules where, you know what, you want to know who is it that your partner would decide to go into this other relationship with while he's in that relationship. Maybe you get the okay from him as to who is it that you want to go with. You know, you need to get that. You need to get that information because you might not be okay with certain people. So you really want to discuss this in detail. In detail. Will polyamory save my relationship? You know, it's funny how they said this, right? If going open in your marriage or relationship, is it going to save your relationship or marriage? I mean, is it, you know, define saving your relationship? Because your relationship in your eyes is probably exclusivity. So, I mean, just being polyamorous now is basically a form of cheating. If that's not what you wanted, you know. While many monogamous couples have transitioned into a polyamorous setup, polyamory is by no means a fix-all solution for a rocky relationship. I agree 100%. It requires trust, respect, honesty, and compassionate communication to work. If those things are lacking, opening up your relationship is unlikely to fix it. Very true. Very true. You might even find it brings more issues to light, of course, because now you're going to start comparing, and we all know what a devil comparison can be. Oh my God, it's sickening. However, if you and your partner are in conflict because your individual needs differ, establishing multiple relationships may be a way to help meet those needs. You know, well, why not discuss with your partner what your actual needs are and see if your partner can give you what is it that you're needing and what is it that you're missing and what is it that you're looking for. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to have to take a part 2. And I want to tell you, my part 2 is going to include some guests. I'm going to have a male guest who is basically very hyped on open relationships. And I'm going to have him, I'm thinking, in the next couple of weeks, you know, after Miami Carnival, I'm going to have him on here so that we can discuss this in a little bit more detail. I think we can go on and on and on about marriage and whether or not it's a prison and open relationships and polyamorous relationships. I think we could go on having multiple partners, etc. I mean, I want to think that sex is probably the main thing here because people get tired of the same Juliets and the same Romeos, so they want to have different Juliets and Romeos. But there are emotional relationships as well, emotional affairs. I mean, there are people that carry on emotional affairs, and sometimes those are even more disturbing than the actual physical relationship. So food for thought, ladies and gentlemen. I want to leave you with some I want to actually rest in peace Gina. I'm wearing her necklace. I bought a lot of jewelry from Gina, so I want to move on to that before I sign off. Guys, Gina was an associate of mine, a friend of mine. She was very kind and dear to me. She passed on recently, and I want to say that my condolences go out to her family and her friends. Also, I want to say, guys, keep an eye out. I've been posting about Mia missing, one of our friends' daughters. Just keep an eye out. I'm going to keep sharing. They're trying to find her. She disappeared in Orlando. They believe it's a kidnapping. It's a lot of things going on. Check my page. I've been talking about it. We got to pray for her safe return home. Also, I want to say that Carnival is coming up, Miami Carnival. I want you guys to be all careful, be very careful. COVID-19 is still very much out there. Mask up, do your PCR test, vaccine if you have to. Be careful how you interact with others. Be very careful. My last positive note, because I'm all about positivity. Do your best to make someone smile. Yes, we talk about self-love and making sure that we are okay, but also while you're making sure that you yourself are going to be okay, just make sure that to be kind to people. I always say it, make someone smile each and every day. Do something to make someone smile. Sometimes all it takes is a smile from you. Just take care. Let's take care of everybody. Let's take care of ourselves, and let's take care of everyone that's around us. So thank you so much for joining again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, known as Red Wine, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon in the next couple of weeks. But in the meantime, I want you guys to take very good care. I also want to remind you that I asked my son about open relationships. Just before the show, I talked about my daughter a lot, and he said to me, which I thought was on the nose, right? I thought it was perfect. He said, well, why even bother to be in a relationship? And I said, right on, my love. Why bother to be in a relationship if you are looking to see others while you are in that relationship? Plain and simple, right? Very plain and simple. Take good care, ladies and gentlemen. Ciao for now. Mwah. Love to all. I love you all. Please take very good care. And ciao for now. Ciao.